So, wow. I can't. I've said this story so many times, and each time it is so horrifying to me. Horrifying. I can't. Okay, so this is what happened. Over the weekend, it's August 31st, 2015. So, it's a Monday. And over the weekend, on Saturday, which was the 29th, and I was at my aunt and uncle's house for the weekend, and we went to a, parade and fair, and so we were gone for like 5 hours, and we came back, and we let the dog out and everything, and then my uncle came home, and he got ready, and we went to my aunt's sister's house. Well, well, her sister, so my uncle could help her husband, put up the back door, and we were gone for about like 3 to 4 hours, and, hold on, whoa, hi! But, we were gone for like 3 or 4 hours, and we came back, and my uncle was like, did the dog poop in her cage? And I was like, I don't smell it. And we opened up the door, and she had thrown up and had diarrhea in her cage. And so, yeah. And, I'm, like, really hurting, guys. I'm really sorry if if I break down or stop in the middle of my story, because it's the worst story for me to tell. And we came back, and the dog has a record with having seizures, and she must have had a really long one, because the last one she had thrown up in her cage. She had, and had diarrhea. So she had to have a pretty long one, because she was really, really weak, and she couldn't even walk because her back legs just stopped. They were really weak, and they weren't working at all. So my aunt and I picked her up, and we took her outside in case she had to go to the bathroom, because she wasn't eating or drinking. So we were like, oh, well, maybe she has to go to the bathroom just in case. Let's just try it. And she didn't go. And we were sitting out there for a while, and then I just picked her up, because I saw lightning, and I picked her up myself, and I just picked her up, and she's like 30 pounds. I picked her up, and I'm the weakest person ever, and brought her inside. Mark was like, we need to do something about this. And so he's like, we're going to have to you're gonna have to take her to the hospital, the pet hospital. And we're like, there's no pet hospital at 9:30 at night to, like, to take her out to. And he found one online, and, I'm not using any names except the dog's, and I'm not going to do any, I'm not going to use any place names, like location, and, so he found one, and it, was 30 minutes away, and so we were like, okay, let's just go. So I picked her up, and because my aunt wrapped her up in a blanket, and so we put her in, I sat in the back of I was holding her, and I sat down in the back seat of the car, and I buckled up, and I was holding her, and I was rocking her, and I was like, it's okay, it's okay. And the dog's name is Molly. And, I'm going to use, like, fake names, because at the end of the story, like, close to the end of the story, I say my aunt's name. So I'm going to use, for her name, I'm going to do Mick, because I used to call her Aunt Mickey, because her name's close to Mickey. So, I was like, so we're driving, and, I'm singing to her on the radio, like, the radio's playing, and I'm singing to the dog, and she's, like, fine and stuff, and then she started, like, hopping up, because she was getting really sore, and she started barking, and even her bark was so faint. It was like, ah! and it was so faint that, I'm sorry, that it, like, you could barely hear her. And I was sitting right there, and um wow, and she's barking, and so we missed it the first time because it looks a lot like a bank, and and this is really hard for me to tell. Okay, I'm sorry, but literally we missed it, and she started throwing up, and we got her to drink a little bit of water before we left, but we weren't sure if it was the little bit of water, because it wasn't like throw up. It was like when we throw up and like it's just, we haven't even eaten anything. It's just like water. That's basically what it was for her, and this is really hard. Okay, guys. So I got this. She starts throwing up, and I'm not sure if it's her stomach bio or maybe it was the water, the little bit of water that she drank, but it was coming out of her mouth, and it got on my yoga pants because I'm holding her, and like it got on my yoga pants, and I just thought maybe, like, thought she was peeing or something, like that she's peeing, or she was just like whining. So I'm like petting her, and then it got on my hand, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my god, and I said, Mick, she's throwing up. I was like, you need to hurry. And she's like, I don't know where this place is. And we're driving around. I was like, you need to pull the car over. And she's like, I can't. I need to find this place. I don't know where it is. And so right when we went to go, like right when we were turning in to the parking lot, I told my aunt, I was like, Mick, which that's not her name, but I was like, Mick, I don't think she's breathing. And my aunt was like, don't say that, don't say that. And I was like, she's not breathing, she's dead. Oh my god, she's dead. I was like, I swear she's dead. And we get into the parking lot, and I open up the door really fast, and my aunt, she's already crying, and I'm already freaking out crying, and she was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And so she ran to the door and had to buzz in and was like had to beep and like tell him like that somebody's out there. And she was like, I'm pretty, like, they let her in, and she's like, I'm pretty sure my dog's dead. I'm pretty sure my dog's passed, but she's in my niece's lap, and she can't move, and, like, my niece can't move because she's in her lap, and we're pretty sure she's dead, and I need somebody to help because I can't lift her. I'm not ready to lift her. And they brought a nurse, and the nurse ran out to come to me, and she just picked up Molly and just picked her up and ran her inside, and we were there, and we filled out all the papers, and we filled out how old she was and her breed, and later the doctor pulled us into our own private room and was like, she's dead. You guys got here too late. And my aunt started crying, and I was already crying, and sorry guys, it was just that the fact, my aunt kept saying, if only I would have got here sooner, and just kept saying, if only I got here sooner, if only I got here sooner, that maybe they could have helped, and they couldn't have. And so they're like, there's probably nothing you could have done though, and so they gave us her collar, and we went home to tell my uncle, and we're like, we didn't make it, she died, and he's like, what, is she in the car? And I was like, no, no, she's gone. I was like, she's there, and she's passed. I was like, she passed in my lap, and I was like, she started throwing up on me, and I was trying to help her, and I told Nick that she was gone. I knew instantly that she was gone. I knew she was gone. I knew it, and I'm sorry, guys. I need to pull myself together. But she said that she died. That there's probably nothing that they could do for her, and so I was like, okay, but he kept asking me, are you okay, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And I just kept crying every time he asked me. And my aunt was like, probably because he was probably hurting, and he just knew that you were probably really freaked out since it happened in your lap. And I was like, I can't do it. And I'm sorry. Rip Molly, Molly May, and she died on Saturday, August 29th, 2015, and I'm really sorry, Molly, that you had to go like that, because when she died, right when we got there and my aunt was inside, she stopped throwing up, and like I picked up her head real fast, and I watched her eyes go from normal, like this, to black. They just went to pure black, and they went to pure black, and I watched it, and I couldn't turn away. I didn't want the last thing for her to see was the back of the seat of the car. I wanted the last thing that she saw was me. So that's what happened, and I'm so freaking out over it still. But yeah, so thank you guys for helping me through everything. Just thank you.